Now, welcome to another news from Naboo.
News from Naboo.
With Thor's Lightning Takes.
News.
All right, we got, I think, a lot of news today. I don't even know
news.
half the stories you're going to bombard me with
And
today.
I like
so
it that way.
I know you do. So let's surprise Thor and let him
Hooray.
give some lightning takes. All right, well, let's get to it.
So our first piece today, Kenobi's director Deborah Chow teases a different look at Darth Vader in the Kenobi series. I mean, this isn't the Vader from New Hope or Rogue One. He's not there yet. It won't be drastic or anything. Quotes from Chow, she went on to say, "For us, it's very similar to Obi-Wan in the sense that he's in between these two trilogies. So he isn't a New Hope Vader. It is still Vader, obviously, but it's a Vader that isn't quite as fully formed as a New Hope." Chow goes on to claim the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin it's broken, and it's always been an important part of this adventure. I mean, does Obi-Wan even know that Anakin is Vader at this point? We don't even know, or does he just feeling crushing guilt thinking he killed him? There was a news article that came out that said, Anakin Skywalker reborn as Darth Vader.
Well, it's all about whether or not Kenobi has heard the name Darth Vader, because he knows that is his Sith name. He saw the christening ceremony, if you will. So, I mean, I don't know. The question is, how known is Darth Vader in the Star Wars galaxy, really? I mean, does the common person know about, the Empire's Dark Enforcer or not? We don't really know that. I mean, considering...
I think he's more of a rumor, possibly, by the time of Rebels.
Well, I mean, if we go on movie knowledge, and again, A New Hope is something, obviously it's the first movie ever written, so how much George was thinking about things like this is in debate, but Luke had no idea who Darth Vader was. He had no idea what the Jedi were, the Sith. He seemed to have some knowledge of the Clone Wars, obviously a galaxy-wide war, but, Obi-Wan's explaining, Darth Vader was an apprentice of mine and all these things, or his father was until he was killed by Darth Vader, I should say. They're different back then, but I don't think he would necessarily even hear news of if he hears about the Empire having a Dark Enforcer, he could just think it's another Jedi who turned, or he found another Sith. So
Tatooine, who may not even realize the Republic has changed hands.
Yeah, it's probably the same old for them. So, in the new canon, who knows how they're going to have Vader, or Kenobi learn about Vader. I don't think he's going to know. I think he's going to discover that in this series, obviously. It's going to make for drama and, excitement, so...
Right. I mean, one thing Chow says gives me a lot of hope. She says, honestly, for me, the starting place was that I really wanted to do something that was character-based and character-driven, because that is the benefit of a limited series, is that you have more time to sort of tell a real character story. So for me, the starting place of the character is you just start, and you look at who's been most important to him and his life, and it's quite hard to avoid Anakin Vader in this scenario. It was like, who means something, and where are we at this point in the timeline with Vader?
I love that quote. I love that this is, granted, it's what she's saying, and we'll see, if the proof is in the pudding when we get the series, but, I've always said this needs to be an introspect about Kenobi. This needs to be about Obi-Wan Kenobi, but at the same time, and I've been saying this since even before we knew we were getting this series, like, if you're going to do the story of Kenobi at this time, you can make it just as much about Darth Vader. And I agree with her that this is probably not the quote-unquote A New Hope Vader. He clearly is probably still obsessed with finding Obi-Wan. We know he's obsessed with finding Obi-Wan in Rebels, so it makes sense. It probably consumes, that's, as I've said before, I think, when Obi-Wan dies, or when he kills him, I believe part of Obi-Wan's sacrifice is knowing that this hatred, this deep-rooted hatred that, Anakin / Vader has for him, for Kenobi, he loses that. So that's maybe the very, very beginning of the turn back to Anakin, when he finally gets, he doesn't get the revenge he wants, per se, too, because he strikes down Obi-Wan disappears on him, and it's like, well, what in the world just happened here, And Obi-Wan has said he's more powerful, or going to become more powerful than he can possibly imagine. But anyway, you said we have a lot of news, so just quickly summing it up, I like what Deborah Chow has to say here. I agree this needs to be, it can be just as much about Vader as it is Kenobi, if you do it right. And it needs to be about those characters. I don't, the other stuff is fine, yes, bring in some Inquisitors, have some flashy fights, sure. I know that's what a lot of the average Star Wars fans are going to want and expect, but make sure it is about these characters.
Okay, next news story. Star Wars, Shadow of the Sith, the upcoming book, has released cover art and an excerpt. So the book comes out on June 28th. There's so many books coming out this year. I was showing you the list
It's
earlier.
always so many books coming out.
This book is supposed to take place about 20 years after the Battle of Endor, with Luke and Lando doing an investigation of Exegol and the mystery surrounding the new Sith menace. Somewhere else in the galaxy, Ochi is on a mission to find the granddaughter of Darth Sidious and bring her to Exegol. Ochi is a Sith assassin hired by Darth Sidious. He's in the comic books, and
He's been in the comics lately, yeah.
They find Ochi's ship or whatever in
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. So the cover is going to feature Luke and Lando, as well as an unknown figure. Could be someone from the Sith cult known as the Sith Eternal. This group was the group responsible for maintaining the essence of Palpatine before he returned in The Rise of Skywalker.
Because why not, yeah.
The novel's synopsis also mentions the cult, so maybe. Ochi's never used a lightsaber that we know of, and supposedly none of the cult members do either, so we're not really sure. There's a possibility that this cover could feature Snoke's other apprentice that was mentioned in some of the supplemental material for The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, but we won't know for sure until the book comes out. The excerpt is super long. There's going to be a link in the description. Thor and I both read it.
Yeah, the excerpt in itself was entertaining and good.
Very.
Of course, there's all kinds of questions in this time period about how you're going to make that smooth transition from optimistic, hopeful Luke at the end of Return of the Jedi to Last Jedi Luke. I know, as I'll probably talk about this one in a video on the other channel I'm kind of working on. We'll see if I get it done today or not. That's the thing. Is there anything they can do to make fans kind of, the ones who obviously didn't enjoy The Last Jedi and don't like Luke in that, is there anything they can do to smooth that out, to make the transition to, and I think this book is going to be an attempt at that. I think it's going to try to explain things. But again, there's certain fans never going to accept it, and I don't blame you for that. I obviously, again, not a fan of Luke in The Last Jedi, but I'm curious to see what their attempt is going to be.
Right.
Because I don't think it's impossible that Luke would ever, quote unquote, break. You had to build to it. You had to really build to it, and doing it retroactively, a lot of people just aren't going to accept that.
So like I said, there's going to be a link in the description so that you too can go and read the excerpt for yourself. We don't want to give you all the spoilers right here, though. It was pretty good. Interesting.
Like I
Give
said,
it a
it's
shot.
entertaining in and of itself. Does that mean the whole book is going to be good? No. Does that mean the book is going to be bad? No. But I'm sure when that book comes out, I will review it and discuss the hell out of it. Maybe we'll do that together. We'll see, because you love to read too.
Okay, next up we've got Star Wars Celebration announces its first batch of guest appearances. It's about time we got to know somebody showing up at Celebration.
It's like 2 months away.
You're buying tickets and you don't even know who's going to be there. So let's go into it. First we have C-3PO Anthony Daniels. We've got Emperor Palpatine Ian McDiarmid and Ahsoka Tano. Ashley Eckstein, all confirmed. Anthony Daniels is always such a cool perspective because he's the only actor to work in all 11 movies. He was, of course, C-3PO in 10 of those, and a human named Tak in Solo.
Tak, what a name.
He was one of the people on the mines.
Hey, he's also in episode 2. He's in the bar. He's not C-3PO. He is C-3PO in that, but he's not always. He also plays a different character there as well.
It's always cool.
Yeah.
I always worry when Ian McDiarmid shows up to the party because I'm like, somehow Palpatine has returned. Somehow Ian McDiarmid.
I love that Ian McDiarmid loves the character. He does so many celebrations.
His face is has that natural smile that's creepy, that looks Palpatine.
But he's such a nice guy. That's so funny how sometimes the best villains are played by the nicest people. Because obviously I don't personally know Ian, but
right.
He seems like a genuinely nice person.
Ashley Eckstein, she goes every year, so there's really no surprise.
Yeah,
no
but
surprise there.
Another actor or actress who loves her character, which you always, I love it. And you don't necessarily need to love Star Wars or love your character, but it's always nice when they do, when they really do care about their characters.
I still want to know how many cupcakes she ate to get over the fact that she didn't get to play her in live action.
I do want, I would love, it's one of those things I would love to just, off the record. How do you really feel about that? Because it's got to hurt.
It had to hurt.
I'm not saying she isn't happy for Rosario Dawson, happy for the character, but there has to be that little bit inside you that's my character, and someone else is taking it.
All right, so we've got also attending will be the Lucasfilm VP and Executive Creative Director, Doug Chang.
Oh, Doug Chang, he's been with the company forever.
Yeah. Longtime Celebration stage host and author, Amy Ratcliffe. Stage host and sound designer, David W. Collins. Star Wars author Dan Zier, and the owner of Rancho Obi-Wan, Steve Sansweet.
I'd love to see that place sometime. Largest collection of Star Wars memorabilia in the world, yeah.
I know. You think you have a lot, then you can show up there and be like, wow.
I do have a lot, but next to that, I have
a whole
nothing.
Ranch.
I have nothing. Until my entire house is filled, my quest is not complete.
Rancho Kenobo? Sorry.
But no, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be more announcements than that. Always curious to see who shows up, and we will be covering that thing in depth, the whole celebration.
Yep.
Probably going to move this show to the main channel for that.
Ooh.
Welcome to the big leagues. I'm just kidding.
And then it'll be shoved back into the corner, but it's fine. It's fine.
No, this isn't the corner. I love doing this. I've had so much fun with this channel. That's one of the reasons we try to do this every day, is I just enjoy talking. Anyway, let's move on to the next one.
So our next story, we have a secret Star Wars TV show rumored to be in pre-production.
Dun, dun, dun.
So last month, Production Weekly revealed that a Star Wars series was slated to head into pre-production with the working title of Grammar Rodeo.
That says it all. Now I know exactly what it is.
Alphabet Squadron.
Hey, maybe. Wow, you actually had a theory. I know,
right? Grammar, alphabet.
Yeah.
Supposedly, Jon Favreau is attached as the producer, and the Spider-Man No Way Home director John Watts will be directing the episodes.
We've heard this rumor before, yeah.
Yep. Now the reports have updated that the mystery series has been in pre-production for a few weeks in California, and the sets are being prepped for a June start date. Reports claim the series will be shot in the same location studio that The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and Kenobi have been primarily filmed. Hopefully this doesn't mean it's a Tatooine series. Haha, kidding.
I hope it is. Let's just keep going with Tatooine.
But there's no word on if this project actually exists, what it actually is titled. I mean, is this one of the titles we already know is coming?
It could
be. Or is this
be
something brand new?
Yeah, it could be Lando's series, which got announced, a year and a half ago now.
Could be Lando, the Acolyte,
series,
Rangers of the New Republic.
It could be Rangers.
Anything.
Maybe they've figured that out after...
On the range of Tatooine.
Oh my god.
Sorry. So maybe with Celebration and May the 4th on the way, we'll get some real facts as to what this project
Like
is.
I said, I'm going to assume some big announcements at Celebration this year.
Mm-hmm. 2 stories to go. We've got Krrsantan Star Wars Tales #1 is coming to a comic shop near you. Originally, I was kind of excited for this. After finding out what it actually is, I'm less excited. We'll see how you feel. It's a special one-shot. It is supposed to be a collection of his greatest comic hits, which seems odd because the cover art is him from the timeline of Book of Boba Fett, which the comics don't have him in. The comic will hit the shelves on May 4th for Star Wars Day. It includes stories from Star Wars from 2016 comics, number 14, 15, and 20, as well as Dr. Aphra Annual number 1, which includes a fight that he had with Obi-Wan set between episodes 3 and 4, in an epic clash with Chewbacca, and a look at his origins.
Yeah, not excited. I've already read all those two.
Exactly. That's why I was like, originally I was really excited, like, yeah, we're talking about Krrsantan, woohoo! And then I was like, oh, wait, we're only telling you things you already knew, but we're compiling it for people.
For reasons.
So that was a bit of a disappointment. I'm sorry, everybody. Lastly, a new trailer for the LEGO Star Wars Skywalker saga has debuted, as if they needed any more hype.
They need more hype
for the greatest LEGO game that's ever existed in all of LEGO.
Hopefully, yes.
This trailer is called Darkness Rises. And it's kind of just a fun short highlighting some of the dark side characters. It just highlights some of their funny moments. It's cool to see them. You hear a couple of the voice actors and lines from the actual game. So, yeah, reminder to how close we are to it. Really close.
So close, yeah.
So, yeah, you can go watch that trailer, enjoy LEGO fun, and just, each movie is actually going to be 5 levels to play through.
Wow.
Yeah. That's, 45 levels?
45 levels
45
to play.
levels.
Isn't it normally like 15-ish in a game?
It varies really from game to game. I just feel like this is going to be so many levels, and then the whole free play open world.
Yeah.
Quests and 1,000+ Kyber bricks and 300+ characters, and
yeah.
I'm going to be busy. News from Naboo may not come out as often because I'll be busy.
Will not be airing tonight due to
Naboo
LEGO.
Playing LEGO.
But no, can't wait to play it, and we will. I guess we're going to put all 45 levels up there. I don't know how we're going to do that.
No, that's
a lot.
Totally the plan.
That's a lot of levels.
Totally the plan.
Get ready to be bombarded with LEGO.
Depending on how long it takes us to get through a level.
True, yeah. Knowing me, it's going to be a little while.
Well, I'm the one who has to break everything.
No, you don't. I like breaking stuff. I'll punch stuff that clearly isn't supposed to be broken and just keep punching it. So,
Yes.
I know. But anyway, I think that is all we've got for you this time.
Does there need to be more?
Not really, no.
It's a long one.
All right, so take to the comments below. Tell us what you think about any and all of this news. And until next time, let's keep talking some Star Wars, and thanks for watching.